G'day there, I'm Adam Gordon, the Profits League Detective, and a very warm welcome to you for this cash optimization report, a 5-minute interview where we give you some immediate practical tips on how to improve the cash flow and profitability in your business. As a business owner, one of the challenges that you're always faced with: how do you grow your business when your business is dependent on you? And today I'm joined by Greg Chapman from Empower Business Solutions. Greg, a very warm welcome. For those
thank you, Adam.
It's a pleasure. It's very good of you to come on board. For those of you who don't know Greg, Dr. Greg Chapman has had many roles in his 30-year business career. Before his current role, he was vice president in a multinational company and lived and worked on 3 continents before starting his own company, Empower Business Solutions. Now, that is now in its 10th year. Congratulations. His experience ranges from operations through to marketing and strategic development. In Greg's current role, he's an advisor to small business owners who are sick and tired of being small. He's the award-winning author of the small business bestseller, 5 Pillars of Guaranteed Business Success. I should add a book that I do have and have read. He's also publisher of the Australian Small Business blog. His latest book, Married to the Business, Honey, I Love You, But Our Business Sucks, like that. And that book is available in all good bookstores. After advising hundreds of small business owners, Greg says if there's one thing he's learnt from his client, it is, while money can't buy you love, happiness is a positive cash flow. Yes, and I have had many clients over the years who would agree with you entirely. And so the other age-old question we get, my accountant tells me we're making a profit, but where's the money? Anyway, Greg's going to answer some questions on making your business run without you. And the rules are simple. We've basically got around 5 minutes. I don't police the 5 minutes very hard, Greg, but try and keep it short for our viewers. And if you're ready, we'll get going.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. The first question then. We often hear about problems that cause small business failure, but it's not all beer and skittles as a business grows. What are some of the problems faced by owners of a growing business?
We tend to see, after an accelerated growth spurt during the adolescence phase of a business life cycle, there is a decline in the growth rate. The problem is that the owners get so busy, it's a struggle to take on more business. The owner is working longer hours, and we start to see cracks in the system as stresses and strains start to reveal themselves and they start dropping balls. The owners usually work longer hours than anyone else in the business and often take home less pay. And this is the reason we see businesses plateau. And they reach a point where they can't handle any more business. They're so busy and they have no time to work on the business because they're trying to fix up the problems and service their existing clients.
Greg, I have seen that so often over the years, yeah. And I think the solution is I just work harder and harder and longer and get more and more stressed. So as victims of their own success, how do owners react to these problems?
Well, what can happen with the strains on the business is the owners take a conscious decision to actually let the business shrink to a more manageable size. They realise they can't provide the level of service they feel they should when they're so busy, so they tend to wind it back a little to get a bit of work-life balance back and aim for quality rather than quantity.
I've seen that. I had one client when I met them who had about 80 employees. They went to 70, brought it back to 40, and are further reducing just for the reasons you've given. So what are the causes of slowing growth in small businesses?
Well, the reason they're slowing down is because they're running a bigger business with the same systems they had when they were much smaller. And what is okay when you're small becomes an obstacle to further growth as you grow. As a result of a lack of systems, the owner is unable to effectively delegate without losing control, and they become the bottleneck for all the decisions, major and minor. Staff get frustrated because they're not empowered, and whenever the owner does let go, mistakes happen, so they end up becoming micromanagers.
Yes, that's right. As you say, they're trying to run a bigger business with the same systems they started with. And what would you say also with the same skills that they started with? Are skills an issue?
It certainly is, yes. And quite often what you find is what gets you to the plateau, and you've done very well to achieve that, is not what's going to take you to the next stage. And the reason you've plateaued is basically you've exhausted your skills and capability and knowledge to get to that level, which is why you have plateaued, and you need to change the way you operate and the way you think to get the business to continue to grow.
Yep, I understand then. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I'm sure it's echoing to some of our viewers. And a final question, Greg. What are some of the strategies that business owners can use to make their businesses less dependent on themselves?
Adam, to overcome the growth obstacle, usually themselves, they need to build a business management system which will enable them to delegate but still feel as though they are in control. This means that everyone in the business understands their roles, their responsibilities, and what a good job looks like. At the same time, the owner is able to know what's going on through a reporting system. And I like to use the analogy of the pilots in a jumbo jet. A jumbo jet has millions of parts, many more than most businesses. So when the guy in seat 57D can't fully recline, you don't see the pilots rushing down the aisle with a screwdriver in his hand, which is what happens in most small businesses.
Yes.
The cabin crew takes care of it. In fact, the pilot might never know of the problem. Instead, the pilots are focused on getting the plane to its final destination safely. Their primary job. And they use just 6 gauges to manage the plane. Gauges such as altitude, airspeed, attitude. If the altitude does drop, obviously something the pilots should know about, they can then drill down into the reporting system to find out which of the many factors that could possibly have caused it has actually caused it, so they know the right action to take. This is what business owners need to implement in order to remove the growth obstacle so they can focus on the things that are important and still be confident that everything else has been taken care of and ultimately have a business that will run without them and become a saleable asset.
Very good. As I say, I've got plenty of clients out there, and I know lots of other small businesses that would really understand exactly what you said. So that those final points, I think that they'll really take those on board. So some excellent points, Greg. Where can people go to get more information and resources?
Okay, my website is www.empowersolutions, E-M-P-O-W-E-R solutions.com.au. And if they go there, they can actually get a preview of my book, The 5 Pillars of Guaranteed Business Success. And I also offer a free Mission Statements Made Easy tool that people can download. So you can download the tool and create a mission statement for your business, and then you can print it off and frame it and put it on your wall. Yeah. So you know why you're working the long hours, the crazy hours, and why your boss is an idiot.
Yes, when the boss is yourself, exactly. Greg, that's excellent. Thank you very much for that. I'm sure our viewers are going to find that very, very useful. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Adam.
Right.